Hello everyone, and I hope you are doing well. Today I am going to show you how to create these loading spinners. These loading spinners are just for your application if you want to load something or if you want to wait to open your application. So we are going to do it with only HTML and CSS purely without any new technology because some people need them only HTML and CSS. So let's do it. Okay, first of all, let's configure our files and our structure. So I would like to start first with index.html. So I have Visual Studio Code. I'm sure you know this editor. So first of all, we need to create an HTML tag using the emmet, which is configured already with Visual Studio Code. You can start and create an HTML tag fully. So how we have it here? So I pressed enter on HTML5 and I got this structure. So first of all, we need the style file. So I need first to link the file, so style.scss, and we need to create the file which is called style CSS. So here we have started, so we have our structure. First of all, we need to have something on the body. We can have like a body, background color, maybe it can be this color which I have, or you can create your own color as you want. For example, I have this 0D C5 C1, so this is my beautiful color background. And to run this index.html, I advise you to install extension called live server, and this live server will help you to navigate directly to this HTML and see it directly. So whenever you click save or you press save, then it will reload the HTML page without loading or reloading it manually. And when you want, I have it already installed, and then when you want to run this HTML code, you just need to right click on it and then open with live server, and you will have it opened on the live server. So after that, we are ready. So we have this background color. So whenever I do a change here, then it will be reflected directly in this HTML file. So I will say I have h1, so I have here, and you see it's directly reflected. Great. So let's create first the container where I will have my loading spinners. So I would say maybe we have to put something div.container, and in this container we will have our spinners. So I have here another dot container, and this container will have a display flex. So I want to display them near each other, and we will give sizes for those spinners. So I will say that every div or first level div inside this container will have width like 100 pixel and height 100 pixel as well. So we can create it as we want. It's up to you how you want to load or make these spinners. Okay, so let's start now with our first spinner. So we will see that we have those rectangles. They are getting bigger and smaller after each other. So if we want to start, we need to create 3 rectangles. So let's do it like that. I will say that I have div.spinner1, and this div will have multiple rectangles. So I will have div as well, or maybe div.rect1 we can say. So I need 5, so we can create 5 of them. So we have now 5 rectangles. So let's renumber them. So we have here 3, 4 and 5. So after that, we are ready for creating the first structure of these spinners. So I would say maybe it's better to separate the style files. So I would make, for example, another style file for the first spinner. So we have here spinner 1. So let's create a file, call it spinner1.css, and inside this spinner1 we will create our CSS structure. So first of all, this spinner1 will have spinner1 or as a class. So here the first class is margin, we can say 100 pixel auto just to make it in the middle, and also we need to make width and height. So we give it, for example, 50 pixel, and height is as well 50 pixel. And also text align, we can make it a center, so to be centered, as you see here, like we have all of it, it's in the center and center of the container itself. And also we can, for example, yeah, that's all. So we can start with every rectangle. So every rectangle will have a specific width and specific height. So the width will be, for example, 6 pixel, and the height we can say, for example, 100 pixel. So in general, we can say every div, because all of them, they have the same properties. So every div inside this spinner will have the same properties, like the width and height and the white background. So first of all, we can give a background color is FFF, and height we can give it like 100 pixel, and we can give a width like 6 pixel or 5 pixel, doesn't matter. And also you can inline block. So let's try that, and we save all this as well. But here, this is the old file working. Here is my file. So as you see, we have it like exactly what we want. So I would say let's make it a little bit smaller. So because this is the full width. So now I want to stretch them. So I want to stretch this rectangle one by one. So how we can do that? So if you know about animations, it's very easy thing. So you can have animation inside HTML and CSS. So now to do this animation which we wanted, we need to do some tags or some property called animation. And animation in CSS is like some property. You can configure animations with time framing and changing of properties of the div or of something specific you want to change. So this animation take a name, and this name will be passed as a function or a keyframes. We will talk about it later. And also timing, and then the delay, how it will be, and iteration, and also like if you want how to have it like the easing in or easing out. So first of all, we need to have this animation. As you see here, first we need to specify a name. You can specify any name you want here. So I can say stretch rectangle, for example, and the duration will be, for example, 1.2 seconds. So because we see that it's taking about 1 second to do that, the animation, like to loop again. And also the timing function, we can say infinite. And the delay, here we can say is in out. And you don't have to care about the other properties. So here we are ready. We need to create this function, which is for keyframes. So as I told you, we need a keyframe. What will happen to this rectangle when the animation is running? So first of all, we have to define a keyframe. You can define keyframe in this way. You press at and then keyframes. And with these keyframes, you specify the name, which you specified here. And now, as you know, these keyframes are divided to periods. So I can say that this 1 second is divided from 0 to 100%. What will happen between this 1.2 seconds? So you can specify that as you want. So for example, I want from 0% to be small rectangle, and then on 100% I want it as a big rectangle. So we can specify that easily. So first I would say maybe from 0%, I will give you example, I will not resize it. Let's, for example, change the color. So from 0%, I want to have, for example, background color of this rectangle will be red. And on 100%, I want it to be, for example, back to white. So I will say 0%, yeah. So now, as you see, it's going red and white, red and white. So this is the idea of creating the animation. So we have periods, but as you see here at the end of the animation, it's cutting directly and appearing as a red. So I would say maybe from 0% to 100%, let it be also red. And then on 50% of the animation, we can make the background color as white. So it will change smoothly then. So as you see, I'm going from red to red. So the start must match the end. So as you see here, we have now the animation is defined. So let's do the animation exactly how we see it in our loading spinner. So we don't need to change the background color, but we want to change the height, as I told you. So first of all, we have to specify the height. The height, as I told you, it must be the end and the start will be the same. So we don't have to change the start at the end. So we can say that the height will be 60 pixel at the back, for example, at the beginning, and at the end it will be 100 pixel. So let's try that. I have here height, and also I have here height, but here I will have 100 pixel. So if you try that, you will see that the change is happening. So as you see that the loading spinner is moving up and down, but as you see that the moving is only to down, as you see, so we cannot see like as it in our spinner. You see how it's from two sides, not only one side, because we have it now only down. So we can do that, but not with height. You can use transforms. So CSS has some functions to transform the object, to transform the div. For example, I will say scale Y or rotate it or do anything with it. So scale Y, I would say the 1, it means the original transformation or original height, and then the 50%, I wanted to have it like 1.5, like bigger, and the height again will be, or the on 100% it will be it will be on 1 exactly. And as you see, the scale did what we want. Now it's moving up and down from two sides. Let's make it 15. As you see, it's changing. But as you see here that all of them are going up and down together, we need something like this. We need to have a delay between those rectangles. So first of all, we need to specify a delay for every rectangle. That's why I made it rect1, rect2, because I want to specify delay for every moving rectangle. So for the first one, spinner1.rect1, I will have a property called animation delay, like make it late a little bit, minus 1 second. So if we save, you see that now this is more late than his brothers. So we can say another. So we have here rect2, rect3, and also we can rect4, and we have 5. So 4 and 5, and here we need to change. So we have 1, we can make 0.9, and here 0.8, 0.7, and 0.6. We can make it faster by specifying this value. For example, I want to say I need to have it, for example, 0.8. So as you see, it's getting faster. I want to have it like, for example, 0.2. As you see, it's very fast. It's up to you. You can specify the speed which you want. So by reducing this value, we can have like faster or slower animation on our spinner. You can do some refactoring because this value is similar to this value. So we can remove this part and we can say that 0% and 100% will be 1, scale Y1, and 50% will be 1.8. So in this way, we had defined our loading spinner, the first one. Let's move on to the second one. The second one, as you see, we have two circles, and those two circles are getting small and big, and all the container is getting rotated. So as we talked previously, we can do a lot of animations like rotate, scale, or some transformation on the div. So let's have two dots. I have here a div inside the two dots, exactly like how we did it before. So I have spinner2, I specified a file, call it spinner2, and inside this file I have defined what I want. So first of all, we have these normal properties like margin, width, height, position, and etc. So first, as I told you, we need to rotate all the container. Let's ignore this. I want to show it to you like that. So first of all, we have the circles. One is getting big, one is getting small. So we have two dots with height, display inline block, position absolute, because I want one on the top and one a little bit down. So we can have some two positions for these circles. So, and the background color will be white, and border radius 100%, because if I remove it, then it will be rectangles. With border radius 100%, we specify a circle. So the animation, first animation will be bounce. What is bounce? Is 2 seconds, infinite, ease in out. What happening in the bounce? I have the circle from 0 to 1. So from 0 to 100%, it will be scale 0, like it will be very small. And on 50%, it will be the normal size which I specified. So I am running this animation now. It's here 2 seconds and it's bouncing. So we need now to do the rotation. You see, it's bouncing and rotating. So we can rotate all the container. The animation for that, I put it on the main container, on the spinner itself. So like this one, you see. So I don't specify it only for dot, but also the spinner. The spinner, all of it will be rotated 2 seconds, infinite, and linear. The rotate will be as a keyframes, 100% rotate 360 degrees. So just rotate, 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 infinite. And what it means linear, because if I say ease in out, it will happen and faster, you see, and it's getting like faster at the end. So this is the difference between those linear and ease in out, or only ease in. So you can try them and see what is the difference. As you see, ease in is stopping at the end. So linear, there is no like speed. So like how to say speed up or down. So just linear speed. So I have here a linear speed and I did a rotate on it. So that's it. So it's very simple. The same concept. I didn't write the code in front of you because I don't want to repeat the same idea. It's everything the same. Let's move in the same way to the third spinner. So I have here another spinner. I called it spinner 3. So we don't need this now. So the spinner 3, as you see, it's multiple rectangles and they are going and disappearing, like from 0 to big. Focus on one of them and you will understand the idea. So you will see one small getting big again, small, big, small, big. So, but the difference is the delay. So you need to play a little bit with the delays. So if I go to spin 3, I have defined cube 1, cube 3 until cube 9. So we have a cube of 9 rectangles. So this rectangle, the spinner, or for example the loader, will have width, height 40 and the margin 100% auto. So it will be like this container. And every rectangle inside this spinner will have 33% width and height 33%, background color white and float left. So I want to align them near each other from left to right. And all of them has 33% of the main container. So they will be third as widths, as you know, in the cube. So first we have this one and we have aligned them. So let's see the animation. Let's stop it. We have normal grid without any animation. So every cube will have a specific delay as we talked before. But what is the animation? It's going from small size to big size. So it's very easy. We need to do it in this way. So transform, I have scale 3D. Scale 3D is something like 3D, as I told you. So you can do also a normal scale. So you can say 1, and here a scale is 0. So when you run it, it will be the same. It's something exactly the same. So from 0, 70%, 100%, it will be 1. And on 35% or in the middle, it will be 001. Maybe you will ask me question, what is this whip kit? It's like the same as this one. Why I have it? This I have it just to mention to you to work on all browsers like Safari and other browsers. So you need to fit your spinner on all browsers. So you need to do the same way. So as you see here, I have a delay. So the first cube will have a delay 0.2, 0.3, 1 millisecond between every cube. But the fourth cube, which is, we can say this one. So the fourth cube will be this one. It will have again 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. And again, the seventh cube, which is this one, will have 0, 0.1, 0.2. Because if you do all of them the same, then they will be all of them together, showing and hiding. But you see, there is a little bit delay between one in the left and its siblings. So as you see, you need to make some differences to get the animation which you want. You don't need to worry about the animation, just try out and you will see how you are generating amazing animations. So let's move now to third or fourth spinner. The fourth spinner, as we see, is very simple. It's just flipping. You see that I flip the rectangle like on Y and then I flip it on X. So it's very simple. I have one single div like this one, spinner 4, I call it spinner 4. And for that spinner, I created already a CSS file, and in this CSS file, as every spinner, we have width, height, background color, it's the same, and animation. And the animation has 1.2 seconds, and it's called rotate plane. So let's see what is inside this animation. First of all, from 0%, I want to have perspective, and this perspective, I will show you when I delete it, you will understand what I mean. It will give this feeling of 3D, you know. So first I need to have perspective 120 pixel, and then I want to have a rotation on the X. So I have rotation from 0 degree to minus 100 degree, so on the X. And the same thing will happen on the Y. I have from 0 degree and then to 190, 79 or 180 degrees. So what about perspective? Let's delete them. So I deleted them, perspective, and you see now the feeling is like 2D. We don't have depth anymore. So we need to have perspective, some depth. You specify it in pixel. It's like I want 120 pixel depth, then it will be like that. So it's like you are inside a box and the depth is 120 pixel. The rotation, why I have them here, like on the X, I have it, for example, 0, 180, 180. But on Y, I have 0, 0, 180. Because look, if I put it minus 180 as well, look what will happen. So we have like some, because I have to also specify this value. You see? It's like someone is shooting the football upside. So you know what I mean. So when you do the animation in the right way, how you try it out, then you will get the proper animation which you want. So just need some calculation, some imagination, then you can create your animation and loading spinner. So that's it for now. I wish you enjoyed this tutorial, and I am going now to publish this code. You can see it in the description of this video. You can see the GitHub link, so you can copy all the code and use it in your applications. See you in the next tutorial.